Hi. A few things that I want to talk about before. Oh, excuse me. I hope everyone as well. A few things that I want to talk about before I begin. So I heard TikTok is actually getting banned. Supposedly, it's getting banned in I think it's the 19th or the 18th. I think it's the 19th. Um, and I saw on Twitter there was another app that's I think it's called Red Note. It's been trending, and people are flocking over to that app in as a it's being used. So the app is being used as a sort of like a replacement for Twitter. Excuse me, for TikTok. And yeah, I'm not actively involved in social media, so I don't know how much of an impact it's going to have. Um, and people hate. I'm not. I genuinely don't know. I haven't done my research, but I've seen a lot of hate on Meta. On people were tweeting on Twitter things like anything but Meta. So that got me curious, but I never was able. Well, I wasn't really bothered enough, I guess, to do like a thorough research on it. So yeah, it's just I think it's the first time, no, that such a popular app is going to be banned in it's like I'm trying to imagine YouTube for instance, YouTube being banned. Some people can't live without YouTube anymore. It's like our modern TV. People need YouTube to be entertained or to get informative information or to learn things, etc. It's a fairly useful tool. I'm using it for this. But yeah, I think I talked a little bit too much. Let's begin before 3:34 begins. Okay. So this book has taught me that you need glucose, you need sugar in your system in order to help you focus. So your brain uses a lot of glucose supposedly. Excuse me, not supposedly. It's actually been proven. They've done studies on it. It really baffles me. I don't know how this delicious cake is made, but I'm assuming it's made by people, right? The ingredients have been grown by people. It's been assembled. It's been the essential ingredients, the process, the baking. Um, mixing the ingredients and everything. I'm assuming it's been done by human supervision, right? Like, um, even if it's been oh, what I'm trying to think about is this cake, this cake being made without the assistance of people. Like if I click on a button in a short amount of time, a machine makes it for me. the ingredients that have been grown on a petri dish. Just interesting. I can't. It's. I think like we never know what the future holds us. I mean, we never know what the future holds. So it's like interesting to think about, I guess. Like when I say I guess, there's definitely some sort of skepticism because I'm also terrified. I'm also terrified what the future technology can do and how it may forever alter our minds. Like I forgot to I excuse me, not I forgot. Relating to what I was talking about with social media and YouTube, how it's almost impossible for people to live without YouTube nowadays, or some sort of um, social media in general, right? Like once I think the scariest thing um, about enjoying certain things is you permanently change. You permanently change after you try something. As in you can't go back. As in you can't remember a life without it. Well, that's maybe a very extreme case, but if some let's say for example soda. Um, Anyone who has ever tried soda with burgers, fries, something salty, excuse me, salty like, or pizza, hot dogs. In my opinion, it's a very tempting combination. It's it's saltier the food is. This it's just something about the sweetness, the tart sweetness, and the carbonation that just sticks to your throat. The intense kind of feeling as you swallow down the food and the drink. There's just something satisfying about it. So, if you were to ever tell someone that you can never drink soda ever again in your life, you tell like a 12-year-old, or you tell a 20-something-year-old, or you tell that to a 30-something-year-old, the results are gonna be the same, in my opinion. Obviously, this is all just I made all this up, and it's all just my thoughts. So just take it with a grain of salt. But think about that. You can never have beer again. You can never have soda again. Hmm. So what I'm afraid of is sometime in the future there is going to be an invention. There is no doubt going to be an invention that is gonna feel like that's gonna feel revolutionary. And imagine that. Imagine right now. Imagine that right now in our society, where, in my opinion, we have like all these very revolutionary things that would have seemed very revolutionary 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Excuse me, 10, 20 years ago. It would have been very revolutionary. 20 years ago, you know, smartphones and the inception um, popular social media apps that connect people instantaneously. That's a revolutionary thing, in my opinion. Um, Now we have something called ChatGPT, or artificial intelligence, um, that can generate images, that can generate responses, clever responses. If you were to think about that, it's actually it's something of some, because we've been exposed to a lot of sci-fi that is very similar. As in non-human beings giving us, the human beings, responses, human-like responses. It's not the first thing that It's not the first time, excuse me, that we've been exposed to something like that. So it may not kind of feel very, very impressive, but if we've never seen anything like that on any entertainment media, it would have blown our minds away. Like, how does this thing know so much? How does this thing know how to solve? How does this thing generate music, generate images, do all these things? So that's another revolutionary thing, in my opinion. And then what I'm trying to think about is, because like right now nothing kind of seems very, very revolutionary. Like, our quality of life hasn't significantly changed. um there's bound to be something like that in the next upcoming 10 years. Bound to be, with the progress that we're making, especially with artificial intelligence tremendously helping processes within different fields like finance, pharmaceuticals, medicine, well, pharmaceutical medicine, um, in architecture, I guess, all the other mathematics. Yeah, it's a scary thing to imagine. What could be the revolutionary thing in a world that already has a lot of revolutionary things that we would have perceived as revolutionary 10, 20 years ago. It's an interesting thing to think about, you know. And I don't know how I don't know like I don't know how people would think about this, but let's say there is an invention that allows you to feel around the same level of high, as as hardcore narcotics like heroin, cocaine, um, methamphetamine. Um, if there was a way for people to feel that high without the severe repercussions experienced with doing such drugs, do you think people would try it? I'm really scared something like that may be invented. Like there's some sort of narcotic that has, with its formula, that has been fixed. I mean, this is coming from a guy who has absolutely no knowledge in chemistry, biology. I don't know how they work, and what I'm saying could be as impossible as, you know, um, finding a capsule that essentially cures every disease. It could be impossible and impractical as that. Um, I was thinking about this yesterday night. If there was a drug, um, if something like a happy drug that was invented, that is completely stripped away from all the negative side effects, but it makes you experience the level of high that you would get from doing cocaine, heroin. But people do it. People, and it costs you like $100 per trip. would people do it? And what would like the repercussions of that be? There's a saying that, and this is a very biased thinking. Uh, Social media is beautiful, right? Social media is beautiful in its own way, but at the same time, it's also very, very detrimental and destructive in its own way. And personally speaking, I think social media is actually doing a little bit more harm than good. Because it's so much easier for us to see the flaws of other people than our flaws. And there's no repercussions, there's no consequences of saying all these negative things on media that you can't really say in real life. I once saw so these individuals are called content vultures. And what these assholes do is they essentially just steal content and make money out of it. So let's say you made a video, you filmed a video, like a funny video about you and your pet, or you and your siblings, or you at work, or it's just you talking. But then, with all its good copyright infringement by workarounds, these people edit the videos tremendously. You know, I don't know if you guys ever seen videos of people just with their monotonous voices reading things online, but the videos have like this videos have like this gameplay of people like jumping around in Minecraft, or you have like, you know, like videos of nature playing in the background, some other things that are playing in the background. Essentially, that's how they avoid copyright infringement and essentially make it their own video. But then the majority of the content, the things that people see, is the ones that are stolen essentially, but they're making money out of it. And with their defense is they say things like, "Oh, but you posted it on the internet. Once you post it on the internet, it's no longer yours. You know, it's free for everyone." And that's the kind of mindset that people have to fucking deal with. Excuse me. No, it's I don't even know why I started talking about content vultures. I just spewed out. All right. So I've babbled for about 16 minutes. But let's begin. First, the set of words Prime's thoughts of old age. Prime's thoughts of old age. Though the word old is never mentioned. Second, these thoughts prime of behavior walking slowly, which is associated with old age. All this happens without any all this without all of this happens without any awareness. When they were questioned afterward, none of the students reported noticing that had the words had a common theme. The words had a common theme, and they all insisted that nothing needed linguistics could figure most unrealistic account. The idea of old age and outcome that unconscious awareness of the attributes which make us this remarkable finding influencing brain action, influencing brain action by the idea is known as the idea is known as the idea-motor effect. Although you surely were not aware of it, reading this, although you surely were not aware of it, reading this paragraph primed you as well. If you had needed to stand up to get a glass of water, you would have been slightly slower than usual to rise on your chair, unless you happen to dislike the elderly, in which case research suggests that you might have been slightly faster than usual. So I'm reading something about priming. It's what it is people are more likely to think or feel certain things when they're first initially exposed to that trigger. So so um, it's associative actions or thinking or thoughts. It's like a puddle. How the ripples in the puddle appear when you drop something in the center. Excuse me. When you drop something in a puddle, it's the ripples that appear that digress from the center. Like, um, and so essentially, it's if you were given, if you were shown something about let's say food related, and you were told to fill the following blank for a four-letter word. That's S-O blank peep. Um, versus if you were exposed to cleaning products, like body wash. Um, the people that were exposed to food or eating anything related to eating, or bananas, for example, right? Bananas or anything. They would think of soup, but then people who were exposed to cleaning products, they will fill that out with soap. So that's priming. When you were first initially, kind of unconsciously, makes you think of likewise category words from similar categories. And this gets me thinking with how modern media kind of interprets it unconsciously influences your thoughts without you even knowing it. Um, for let's say for music, right? I don't know if I'm not gonna say I'm like well, at the same time I'm not a teenage individual that is easily influenced. I have my own world of thinking. I have my own preferences, and I know what I like and what I don't like without anyone's opinions on it, especially. Um, and the reason why I say this is, there's that the comment section does a lot of things when people are like, "Oh, wow, this is so good," or "This is like excellent." It's the reason why a lot of companies utilize those paid comments or paid promotions that say positive things about this product in order to make it seem better than it is. Not just by how you see it, but you're also at the same time being primed to think positively about the product, or about the and excuse me, not or, and about the products that are in the same category as the product that is being promoted. So with music, if one initially thinks that the music that they listen to was not to their taste, it wasn't really that good, and they've done their thoughts on it, but then they hear other people in the community praising it, saying very positive things about what they listen to. It now that at that point it digresses. Now, in my opinion, it digresses to 2 points. One is respecting what other people are thinking and trying to excuse me. One is respecting what the other people respecting the thoughts and the opinions of others, and attempting to understand what it is about the music that they thought was excellent, while maintaining your own position about why it wasn't to your own liking, to your own favorite. And two would be about doubting your own thoughts, and just molding with others' opinions. Now, this also may be a very biased thinking, but I think the majority of people nowadays are falling for the latter. They are unconsciously, maybe it is good. Maybe I did. Maybe my opinion isn't very valuable. Maybe other people's opinions are more valuable than mine. That's putting it in a very negative and I guess condescending way, but that's, I don't know. I just feel like a lot of that is happening nowadays. It certainly happened with me when I was in my teenage years. It made me doubt. Now, definitely not. Um, yeah, I don't know why I said that, but just I feel like it's just how it is. Not regarding with just music. I only talked about music because I have a concrete opinion about it. But then, um, with anything else in general, I think it's, let's say for clothing, for products, or for gaming, you know, you can learn things, but at the same time, I think everyone needs to be confident, and everyone needs to be sure with their own solid reasons as to why they prefer something, or they do not prefer something, or they like or they don't like something. It's just something, in my opinion, that is lacking. They just say that they don't like it, but they don't have their own concrete reasons that can be distinguished and created from a few minutes, or maybe even about half to maybe an hour of solid thinking. It's the value of it kind of goes up because you think more about it. It's like digging a hole. The longer you dig a hole, it's, the longer you dig a hole, the deeper it's going to be. It doesn't matter how strong you are. It doesn't matter how effective you are. If an effective, strong individual only has 5 seconds to dig, and then there's another one who is not as well, not as well effective, and not as well strong, but they're given an entire day to dig, there's going to be a fundamental difference. Yeah, maybe that was an extreme example, but yeah. Anyways, I don't know why. I just wanted to babble a lot today. I will see you guys in a few hours. Thinking of doing it before 10 o'clock so I can go to sleep early. Yep. Anyways,